Well, good evening tonight. Good evening today, everybody, and thank you for coming out tonight to the Maury County Chamber and Economic Alliance and the Northfield Conference Center for hosting this event. We have deep appreciation. Can y'all hear me in the back room? No. How's that? There we go. Well, first of all, thanks for coming tonight. We appreciate this. We're trying to keep this on a yearly, annual basis of people to come out here and hear the elected officials in our different hospital, our schools, and our economic alliance to show and to hear what's going on in Maury County right now. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge Tom Brewer with the Northfield Conference Center, which has so graciously allowed us to use this facility. Tom, you want to come up and say a couple words real quick? Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Brewer.
Hey, thank you all for coming tonight. On behalf of actually Jan and myself and the about 1,200 people that call this building their home on a daily basis. Who would have thought that a couple years ago when the building was idle? General Motors had just idled their plant, and now we can say, and as you come around the curve off of the Saturn Parkway and then look at all those cars up there. About 1,200 people, and again, that's a public and private collaboration, economic development, workforce development, and we're really proud of what's happened so far. We have a lot more to go. You'll be hearing as we continue to add tenants. We have 9 tenants in the building, and if I go through them, I'll probably forget one of them or two, but we have 9 tenants, and we lease about 75,000 square feet, and we have about just over 100,000 square foot more to lease. As you drove in and you saw the big parking lot, what we call door number 7 or 700, we are actively marketing that 35,000 square foot right now. So more jobs and more economic development come from the building. I hope you saw our sign. That's been one of those things when I say there's been a lot of people working on it. We've tried to get that up as soon as possible, but that finally tells people what this building is. A lot of people, well, 30,000 people go up and down the highway on a daily basis, and they saw the road be built and they see all those cars out there, but there's still a lot of people that wonder what this building's about. So we got the sign up. It's not quite done. We're going to have an electronic messaging board put in next week, and then of course landscape and that type of thing. So anyway, welcome tonight. And you're going to see a lot of great things and hear all the good things happening in Maury County, and certainly Northfield is one of those. Thanks.
We especially want to thank our mayors and distinguished guests that have so graciously agreed to come and be part of our State of the County address, and we look forward to hearing from each one of you tonight. The purpose of this event is to bring together the business leaders and public servants from areas of Maury County to discuss our future. We trust that this evening will provide our citizens with good information. We hope to continue a State of the County address each and every year just like this. Now, with that being said, let's start to hear from our mayors. According to the latest census data, the city of Columbia, Tennessee has a population of 34,681 citizens. The median age is 36 and the median income is $38,245. The city of Columbia employs 385 people. Mayor Dean Dickey is the mayor of Columbia. 27 years as an owner of and operator of 7 supermarkets, Giant Foods, Pick Pack Foods in Middle Tennessee area from 1973 to 1997. He served on the City Columbia Council member on Ward 4 until elected mayor. He was instrumental in establishing the Tennessee Grocers Association. He's a strong community leader of organizations including the Chamber of Commerce, United Way, American Red Cross, and the Kiwanis Club of Maury County. Dean served in the U.S. military during the Korean conflict and was based in Busan, Korea, and awarded an honorable discharge. He graduated from Campbellsville High School, married to Joanne, 2 children, Debbie and Nolan, and Mike Dickey. Mayor Dickey has a meeting tonight, but he did videotape his speech for us. So at this time, we're going to go with Mayor Dean Dickey.
This is Mayor Dean Dickey, and tonight I'll be giving you the State of the City report. We'll be talking about 5 different topics: governance, city finances, economy and development, safety, and quality of life. Columbia is operated under city council, city manager form of government. And most of you know that this past year, Mr. Boyer retired, and he was replaced by Tony Massey, who is now our city manager. We have a vice mayor and 5 council people. City finances, a mission statement for the City of Columbia is to be financially responsible city providing excellent services. The city has proudly maintained an A+A2 stable credit rating from Moody's Investor Services. The City of Columbia's general fund, which are its tax-supported services, has an annual budget of $25 million. The total annual budget for all funds is approximately $55 million. Columbia has received the Award of Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 13th consecutive year. The award is given in recognition of the city's transparency and professionalism in financial reporting. Our city finances is a breakdown. 1/3 of our revenue is from property taxes. 1/3 of revenues are from local and state sales tax collections. 1/3 are from all other fees and charges. City finances, how your dollar, property tax is spent. 9 cents goes for streets, traffic control, and fleet maintenance. 7 cents for parks and recreation department. 5 cents development services. 26 cents out of $1 goes to the Columbia Fire Department. 25 cents is for the general government operation, and 28 cents is for our city police departments. Each year, the City of Columbia contributes 50% of the mixed drink taxes collected to the Maury County school system. Last year's total contribution was more than $44,000. The economy and development for the City of Columbia. Columbia welcomes 43 new business or relocation ribbon cuttings 2012 and 13. Some of those to relocate and open up. Maury Regional Hospital Cancer Center relocated to the Columbia Mall. Chick-fil-A is on James Campbell Boulevard. Planet Fitness is in the Shady Brook Center. Farmers Credit Union on Highway 31 North. Fireside Subs, Shady Brook Center. Shoe Carnival, Pet Sense, Evergreen Yogurt, Puckett's Groceries, and more. Development service in Columbia building permits in 2013, 12 single-family homes, 1 new commercial building, 81 total permits, $4.8 million in total value of construction permitted. More renovations or developments of property than new construction projects. Revitalization in downtown Columbia, renovation projects, the new City Hall at 700 North Garden Street. New business in 2013 downtown, Puckett's Grocery and Creamery, Old Curiosity Bookshop, Vinyl Records, and more stores are coming soon. Revitalization in East Columbia, $519,000 neighborhood stabilization grant. Constructed 4 new single-family homes. These homes are for sale now with assistance available for first-time home buyers. Demolished 7 vacant, abandoned properties in the revitalization area. Home buyer education classes and down payment assistance are provided. Public safety. Columbia Police Crime Comparison of 2008 to 2012. And you can see that it went from 10.57% to 2012, 3.32%. This slide shows Chief Joey Bishop accepting a commendation from Governor Bill Haslam for the continued crime reduction in the City of Columbia. Community Crime Reduction Strategies. $800,000 grant from the Tennessee Office of Criminal Justice Program. Collaborative partnerships with Maury County Boys and Girls Club. Board of Probation and Parole. And Goodwill Industries. Purpose to reduce violent crime in target areas of the city of Columbia. This is a picture of the K-9 Kelly and Handler Officer Mike Brown completed training in 2012. Used for searching parking lots, hotels, bars, truck stops, and on traffic stops. To date, Kelly has discovered drugs in more than 15 incidents that have resulted in arrest. Roadway improvements. Completed the Safe Routes to School project at Hampshire Pike and Oak Springs Drive, serving J.R. Baker Elementary and Whitthorne Middle Schools. Pending Safe Routes to School grant application for sidewalk improvements at Highland Elementary School. Speed reduction in Neapolis with a new traffic signal to be installed at Highway 31 and Springmead Boulevard. Pedestrian and traffic safety improvements planned for Trotwood Avenue at James Calma. Columbia Fire Department. Columbia Fire Department provides free smoke alarms and monoxide alarms to the city of Columbia residents. In 2012, we replaced 2 fire apparatuses, purchased a new 100-foot aerial ladder truck, and a new fire engine. FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant, $2.1 million federal grant dollars was awarded, with the state sharing in a 12.5% and a 12.5% local match, provided primarily by the property owners. Proposed to remove flood-prone properties and reduce future loss of life or property from flood events. City is currently active pursuing the purchase of 9 properties of the most frequently flooded properties within the city limits of Columbia. Quality of life. Columbia Youth Empowerment Center. $300,000 grant from the Community Development Block Grant Program, $100,000 local match from partnerships between the City of Columbia, Columbia Housing and Redevelopment Corporation, Maury County Boys and Girls Club, and the Columbia Head Start Program. Duck River Walk Park, including the 5th Street Bridge and downtown streetscaping improvements. Columbia Farmers Fresh Market opened up in 2012 and is ready for an opening in 2013. Oakland Parkway, Babe Ruth Baseball, Summit Constructors have donated their services valued at $200,000 to create a new additional ball field at the park. The field will be open for 2013 season. The Ridley Park Complex, in its first year the park was open, really hosted 16 baseball and softball tournaments. In 2012, really hosted 25 tournaments. And in 2013, we anticipate continued growth and success. Muletown Trolley. In June of this year, the first and only public transportation option for residents traveling within Maury County. This is Mayor Dean Dickey. It's been my pleasure to present this report to you on the things that have been accomplished in our city for 2012 and 13. And we look forward to many more things, positive and growth in the years to come.
Before we go any further, I'll be remiss, if I could at this time ask all the elected officials to please stand up so you can be honored right now. Thank you very much. According to the latest census data, Maury County has a population of 80,956 citizens. The projected population for the year 2016 is 94,487. The median household income is $45,116, and there are 26,345 employed citizens who live in Maury County. The county government has 477 employees. Let me tell you a little bit about Mayor James Bailey that I've had the honor to get to know in the last couple of years. It's been my privilege. Mayor Bailey was born in Maury County, Tennessee, to James L. Bailey Sr. and Sarah F. Bailey. He has children Judge Lee Bailey, Mary LaRue Sweeney. His education was with Maury County Public Schools grades 1 through 10, a graduate of Columbia Military Academy, Middle Tennessee State University for 2 years, University of Tennessee Knoxville for 1 year, University of Tennessee Memphis for 3 years, where he received his Doctor of Pharmacy degree. He ran Bailey Drug Store in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee until 1995. He was the past president of the Mount Pleasant Lions Club, past president of the Maury American Cancer Society, past board member of the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, past board member of the Boys and Girls Club. I could go on right there. Former mayor, vice mayor, commissioner of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, former Maury County commissioner from 1982 to 94, county commission chairman from 86 to 94, elected Maury County mayor in 2002 and currently serves in that position. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor James L. Bailey.
Sounds like I ought to be worn out doing all that. Probably am. I want to welcome all of you here tonight. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate the invitation. I told them when I got it, same as it was last year, you can only speak 5 minutes. And I said, it's really hard for me to only speak 5 minutes. I do a whole lot better than speaking an hour when I can in 5 minutes. But I appreciate what Tom said. This building is a dream for several of us. We actually started on this building about 4 years. This was going to be a pile of rubbish. It wasn't going to be here any longer. And that was quite a clear and concise statement that this General Motors Corporation told several of us. And a lot of people went to work, made a dream come true, and here we are today. As Tom said, 1,200 people working up here. That's a positive step for Maury County, and I guess I would start off with that. My friend Dean slipped one in on me now doing a video. I'll rag him about that tomorrow. But Columbia, Mount Pleasant, Spring Hill, Maury County. We all in the same boat together, and it's been my position throughout the almost 11 years, been my pleasure to serve as your mayor, that we all are a team. Sometimes we pull a little bit different. We have special interests, but in the end, we all pull together for the good of Maury County. I think things are on the upswing for Maury County. I think it's a very positive year that we're in now. I'll give you just the short facts about that, but I know that any time that countries that I've never heard of, don't know where they are, couldn't spell their names, can have a little a bearing on our national economy. So I'm not going to get up here and brag about what we're going to do next year and so forth. But I think we've had a good year this year. And Scott alluded to population. We have already grown over about 1.3% in this year. So that doesn't sound like much, but you project that, and that 1.3 becomes 2 and 4, and pretty soon we could possibly hit that target that he was talking about. If you carry nothing else home that I said tonight, please carry this home. Maury County government did a new website, and on that website, www.maurycounty-10.gov, you will find on that homepage something that says Code Red. It literally could save your and your family's life. Please take the time to go to the Maury County website. It will take you about 4 minutes to get on there. Put your information. This is a weather warning system. We had looked at sirens. We had looked at reverse callings. We feel like this is the best thing. But if you don't fill that out, and it's free for you, we did pay for it, but it's indirectly free for you, I guess you'd say. But if you don't put that on there, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the tornado and flash flood and those type of warnings. It will come directly to your cell phone, your house phone, or both. So please do that for me. I'm so disappointed that we only have approximately 800 people signed up. We've had it in the newspaper. I've talked about it. Everybody's talked about it. Tell your friends and neighbors, get them signed up. About 4 minutes. I think it took me 5 because I have a little more trouble with the computer. Anyway, I think, as I say, that things are on the upswing here for us if it does continue, and I will try to keep this in 5 minutes. But in the first 4 months, we have issued the adequate facilities tax, which includes all of the 3 cities and the county. We had 140 count on that with 89 single homes, and single homes is what we really look at. In 2012, we were at 122 and 69. We're still a long way from our record in 2006, when we had a total of 1,250 receipts, and 953 of those were single-family homes. So we got a lot of way to go. And in between those years of 06 and 10, it's been kind of a seesaw. One year be up a little, next year down a little. But Mr. Hatch, who's our building planning and zoning guy, he tells me that they are seeing people in our office today that they haven't seen, contractors that they haven't seen the last 2 or 3 years. So I think that's a very, very positive thing. On the county-only side, and that's just permits that are issued outside the 3 cities, we have issued 82 permits in the first 4 months of this year, 31 of those being single homes. That compares to 68 last year with 19 single homes. So we are still, we're moving forward. I feel real good about our county. I think I think we're going to have a good budget. I think our rating is the same as the City of Columbia's. It's a good rating. We actually increased our bond rating in Moody's during this bad year. And during the 3 bad years of 7, 8, and 9, our population actually grew 7.7%. So I'm very, very optimistic. Also, I do know that things happen, but we want to keep, we kind of went backwards for a while. So did most everybody in this whole United States. But we've gotten out of that gear, that reverse, got up into neutral. Now, I want to see us go forward. I want to see us get into drive and continue to go. It's going to take all of your help. Not everybody supports all the things that we try to do in Maury County and the 3 cities. If you're not for it, that's fine. That's no problem with that. But let your commissioners and your councilmen and your aldermen and alderwomen and all, let them know how you feel about certain issues. If you think we should borrow some money, you tell them. If you don't think we should, you tell them that also. But make your voices heard, please, and you can do that by contacting your representatives. You can come to the meetings and do forth it. Maury County is a great county. It's been my privilege to live here most of my life, and I want us to, we can't do it by ourselves. So please work hard, strive hard, and let's make Maury County even greater in 2013, 2014. Thank you.
By the way, go to that website, please, and sign up for that. It's annoying in the middle of the night, but when the last weather came through here, my iPhone went off, and I woke up and went over and looked at it, and there was a weather warning. So please go on and sign on for that. The city of Spring Hill has a population of 29,036 citizens. The median age is 35, and the median income is $70,276. The city of Spring Hill has 170 employees. Rick Graham is a newly elected mayor of Spring Hill. Rick was born in Lawrence County and is a 5th-generation Tennessean. His father, who retired from the Air Force, raised a family primarily in Smyrna, Tennessee. Rick holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from Middle Tennessee State University. Right out of college, he began working for Maury Regional Medical Center and soon married a Columbia girl, Miss Alicia Sugg, in 1982. He and Alicia have 2 sons, William, who is 28 years old, and Jonathan, who's 20. During the past 20 years, they have moved 12 times all over the country, with Rick's work in the food contract industry. In 2006, Rick came to Spring Hill City Hall to make a complaint about the level of noise and loud music from a business near his home. At the time, the city noise ordinance did not address decibel levels, and it now does. There's a new sheriff in town. He began attending meetings and ran for alderman in 2007, beating the incumbent and 3 others. He was an original member of the Spring Hill Budget and Finance Committee and began serving as chairman in 2008. In 2011, he ran unopposed for re-election as alderman and has just begun his term as the mayor of Spring Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mayor Rick Graham.
Good day. Well, I don't have much to report since I'm not 2 weeks into the job, but I will. I did want to tell a little bit more background on myself and my Maury roots, and as Scott mentioned, I am a 5th-generation Tennessean, and you can probably tell by the accent. I spent last week in California and never heard so much, where are you from? And constantly reminds me of my accent. But Lawrence County is where I was born. Wasn't raised there because my dad was military, but if any of you ever heard of Bonner Town, it's up south of Lawrenceburg. My great-grandfather and his brothers founded that little town and still there today. And I have a lot of pride because I am a military brat. Grew up on a lot of bases, and we were stationed in Smyrna, Stewart Air Force Base. Some of those that you might remember that a long time ago. I think the base closed in '72, so it's been a while. And my father passed away 3 years ago. My mother now lives here in Spring Hill. But I did meet my wife at Maury Regional Hospital, and I think Mr. Alan Watson's here. I actually met my wife about 30 feet from his office. She was working there as a cashier. So my mother-in-law, some of you may know, Marvin Sugg, works for the Herald and still going strong. And so I am proud. I'm proud of my Maury roots and my Columbia history. I was married and baptized in Columbia. And Scott mentioned, I went to City Hall, took a plane, and look, now I'm mayor. Hey, careful what you ask for. It's really strange. And when people say politician, I kind of cringe. I tell people I'm more of a concerned citizen. So let's talk a little bit about Spring Hill and some of the things that are going on. And things are going well for Spring Hill. You can tell that just by driving around. And 5 years ago, just 5 years ago, we had $3 million in total cash in all our funds. And one thing I learned when I went into city business and as an alderman and finance committee, I thought it was like a business, and you had one big fund and everything came in and out of it, and that's not the case. We have a lot of different funds, but combined we had $3 million, which is not a lot of money. And just 5 years later, we have over $16 million in our funds, in our reserves. And so that's a $13 million growth in just 5 years. Mayor Bailey mentioned safety. We just were notified that we're the 61st safest city in America. I take a lot of pride in that too, and like a lot of our board members that are here today, because just about every year we add about 3 policemen, 3 firemen, and that's so public safety is a big thing for us. Number of people, Scott mentioned, the last census we were around the 29,000 mark. Our numbers now, we think we're somewhere around over 31,000. We feel pretty sure of that, and we're going to do a special census next year to get a little more accurate count. This year in sales tax revenue, just on the Maury side, we're going to come in around $2.3 million, and then we're really anticipating this next year to even blow that out of the water. We're going to do even our businesses, as I indicated around town. You can just drive around and see what's coming and building. It's really amazing. HCA TriStar opened up in February, a new 24/7 emergency room. Maury Regional opened up their new complex this year. We're very excited about that. And we thank you for that investment in Spring Hill. These facilities provide additional economic development growth in the next couple of years. There's no doubt that's going to transpire. We have private developers already approaching us with plans to connect these 2 facilities through the construction of a reserve boulevard so that they can market and develop this land. We have a new Spring Super Walmart coming in. It's our first Walmart, and it should be open in October. If you drive into North Spring Hill, you can't miss it. And that's going to help our city coffers and hopefully attract a lot of people that would have gone to Franklin, Cool Springs to shop, to stay at Spring Hill. But it also is going to add to our traffic burden, and that's something that we'll be addressing first thing. That's the highest priority on our list. Future growth, we're already, we just completed a bore across the sewer line across I-65 and constructing the lift station that'll handle the flow there. These 2 projects will open up the east side of I-65. That's future Spring Hill. That's our future. We're going to grow east. And this will be one, I believe that'll be the new Spring Hill. Most cities actually grow from the interstate out. We have the blessing of growing toward the interstate and over. And that's what we really anticipate. in the next coming years. Building permits continue to increase. We have over 150 this year, and that's a 30% increase from the same time of last year. Our biggest priority, so I'll end with that, is traffic, roads. And we will be addressing that through our Transportation Advisory Committee. And we desperately need a new interstate interchange and getting Highway 31 Main Street on the map, on the TDOT map for road improvement. And so we have our work cut out for us on the infrastructure of Spring Hill and the city. But we do have a lot going for us, a lot of blessings. We appreciate our neighbors in Maury County. And as Mayor Bailey said, we're all in this in the same boat. But we'll work hard, and above all, we'll pray for God's guidance and wisdom in all that we do. And I thank you for this invitation and this time today. God bless.
Next up, the city of Mount Pleasant has a population of 4,561 citizens. The median age is 35, and the median income is $33,498. The city of Mount Pleasant employs roughly 65 employees. Mayor Maury Colvett is a native to Maury County and has lived in Mount Pleasant the majority of his life. After graduating from high school, he enlisted in the United States Army and was stationed in Karlstadt, Germany. He served one tour of duty in Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, involving the liberation of Kuwait and Operation Provide Comfort. He changed his career path after the birth of his first son, I can testify to that, and was honorably discharged from the Army. He relocated back to Mount Pleasant, where he worked in several local industries before continuing his education. He received his residential, commercial, industrial, electrical certification. He also became a father of a second son. Afterwards, he moved to employment at Mount Pleasant Power System, where he received training to be a journeyman lineman and has completed the courses to be the power system's first on-staff safety coordinator. He was elected to the Mount Pleasant Board of Commissioners in July of 2009. He was then elected mayor in October 2011. He has 3 sons, which all attend Columbia State Community College. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Maury Colvett.
He gave me way too much credit. I don't think I did all that either, Mayor Bailey. But good evening, and thank you, Maury Alliance, for hosting this event and giving me the opportunity to reflect on our progress and set the stage and what lies ahead for the city of Mount Pleasant. I would also like to thank, and I don't know if any are present, but if they would they please stand? My fellow commissioners, Vice Mayor Ricky Frazier, Tom Blankenship, Bob Shackelford, and Chris Frierson. We may not always agree on the issues that face Mount Pleasant, but it is our love for our community that unites us to serve. Lastly, I would like to thank our dedicated city employees. They are the backbone of our city, and it is their hard work and dedication that keeps us progressing. When I was born in Maury County in 1970, it was, believe it or not, a different town than it is today. One of my fondest memories as a young man was going fishing at Arrow Lake with my cousins. But what made this so special was all the hard work that we had to do in order to be able to fish on Saturday. The hours we would spend gathering old scrap metal to sell to the local scrap dealer, just so we'd have money to buy a Coke, a candy bar, and a day pass at the lake. We would ride our bikes and stay all day. Our talks would span from cars and girls to sports. Those were some great times. And if the fish were biting, it was even better. But I could go around the room tonight, and collectively, we could all tell a memory about our community and chronicle the many changes that have occurred over the last 50 to 60 years. It is those fond memories about Mount Pleasant that helps me to lead the city into the future. I'm often asked, what is our vision for Mount Pleasant? The answer I always tell people is very personal to me. We are building a Mount Pleasant that I hope my sons want to call home. A city that creates opportunities for them to have fulfilling careers, have families, and create memories with their families, just like the one I just described. When I think of our city's accomplishments, it's not the new sewer lines that we've laid or the new water treatment plant we're building that come to mind. It is my three sons, Lee, Payne, and Clay. They are my motivation and daily reminder that being mayor means working just as hard for your families as it does my own. This year was marked by extraordinary challenges, and I'm pleased to tell you that the state of our city remains strong and that the future is as promising as ever. You might wonder, how can that be given the challenges facing our city? Let me assure you, I am clearly aware of our challenges. We confront them every day, but strength is not measured by the absence of challenges. The strength of our city is not marked by a lack of resistance. That would be like bench pressing without putting any weights on the bar, and then claiming strength just because you can do 100 reps. That's not strength. It's just moving your joints. The strength of our city is measured by how well we responded to the challenges and how well we overcome the resistance that's set before us. By that measure, Mount Pleasant is the strongest we've ever been. With that said, here are some of the highlights from 2012 and our plans for the future. We remodeled City Hall. It's amazing what a fresh coat of paint can do. We turned old jail cells that hadn't been used since the 1970s into much-needed office space for our police department. We developed a new city seal and tagline, Mount Pleasant, experience our history and explore our possibilities. This is our foundation for moving the city forward. We have a rich history to share with visitors and endless possibilities for businesses looking to locate and grow. We united with the Chamber of Commerce to host the following events: the 5th Annual Scarecrow Festival, movie nights on the square, Classics for a Cause, Cruising the Square, Americana music concerts downtown, and the second Saturday flea market, which is held every Saturday. The second Saturday flea market, which is held every month. And the annual Christmas on Main, along with the Rotary Christmas Parade, just to name a few. The community of Mount Joy, located on the Lewis and Maury County line, had resorted to hauling water for daily use and consumption because many of their wells were becoming dry. We voted to apply for a USDA grant to serve the Mount Joy community. Even though these citizens are not inside the corporate limits of Mount Pleasant, we felt it was the right thing to do to help our neighbors. We're building a water treatment plant. This project consists of the construction of a 1 million-gallon water storage tank, replacement of 18,000 feet of main line, and a new water plant. Design phase should be complete in June of 2013. Expected bid date, September of 2013. This is an $8.4 million project and will bring the city's water plant into the 21st century. In 2012, we approved a balanced budget with no property tax increase and minimum utility rate increase. The Mount Pleasant Police Department received 8,144 calls for service in 2012. The overall accident with injury rates were down compared to 2011, and I am pleased to report that there were 0 fatalities in 2012. The police department staff continued to strive to improve their performance as well as customer service. The Mount Pleasant Fire Department responded to 754 calls for service in 2012, and we hired our first ever training officer, Philip Grooms. Education and training are going to be a main focus in our fire department in 2013 as they work to make the Mount Pleasant Fire Department one of the best in the county. We voted to move our city elections to coincide with the federal elections in November. thus removing the cost of the elections and substantially improving voter turnout. We continue to move forward with our Tennessee Downtown program. Our industries are expanding. Virtue's Millwork invested over $4 million in their facility this past year. IB Tech continues to grow and expand employment and is now over 400. And lastly, we await the announcement of a possible $55 million investment and 200 jobs possibly coming to Mount Pleasant. And I'm sure most of you have read about this. Last year at this event, I spoke of 3 goals: delivering excellent city service, job creation, and investment in our people and our neighborhoods. I hope you've heard tonight that we continue to focus on these goals. Abraham Lincoln once said, put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. I am sure these goals are the goals upon which the city must stand to restore and move the city forward, and I'm committed to standing firm upon them. As I stated earlier in my speech, I believe that our city is the strongest it's ever been. And I know that to be true. All around me, inside City Hall and out, I see a community facing its challenges head on with more force, more fight, and more determination, more transparency and humility and creativity than ever before. So you might ask, how do we put up with the tension of knowing where we are going and realizing we're not there yet? We stay eyes fixed, feet firmly planted, shoulder to the wheel, and we keep going on day after day, week after week, and year after year. And it is important along the way that we celebrate each and every win. We recommit to the vision and to the promise of our city. We stay excited about the future, impatient with the present, and committed to pushing on, moving Mount Pleasant forward. Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you, mayors, for that positive message. We appreciate that. Let's give all our mayors one more round, please. Moving on, Maury County Public Schools include 21 campuses throughout the county with approximately 11,500 students. The system has a makeup of 3 high schools, 3 unit schools, 1 alternative school, 4 middle, and 10 elementary. Maury County Public School System has 1,609 employees. Director Edward Hickman is a leader of our schools. Eddie is a native of Maury County. He attended both Highland Park Elementary School and Withorn Junior High School. In 1969, he graduated from Central High School. After attending Columbia State Community College for 2 years, he transferred to Lipscomb University, where he graduated in 1973 with a bachelor's degree in health, physical education, and recreation. He also has a master's degree in administration from Trevecca Nazarene University. His professional career began at Hampshire Unit School in 1973, where he was a teacher and coached boys and girls basketball. In 1988, Eddie moved to Central High School, where he stayed for 16 years. On June 1st, 2004, Director Hickman became the director of our schools, and he is presently in his 9th year. Eddie lives on Carters Creek Pike in Columbia with his wife, Sheila Hutcherson Hickman, a retired English teacher, and in October 2008, his daughter, Sarah Elizabeth, married Sean McLeod. Eddie has been a member of the Breakfast Rotary Club for 8 years. He has served for 9 years on the board of Tennessee School Resource Officers and is a member of the National School Resource Officers Committee. He has attempted to bring a positive growth and stability to Maury County school system. He served as the past president in 2006 and 2007 of the Tennessee Association for School Supervision and Administration, and he also became the South Central Tennessee Superintendent of the Year in 2008. He brought the presently used calendar concept to the system. He led the county schools in acquiring district accreditation from the Southern Association for Schools and Colleges. Ladies and gentlemen, Director of our schools, Eddie Hickman.
Good evening. I bring you greetings from the Maury County Public School System. Before I get into my presentation, I would like the board members that are here to stand up and be recognized. These board members are elected officials. As Mr. Spicky said, I'm finishing up my 9th year as director of schools. The school board in the last couple of years has moved up a few notches in their involvement in the school system. They just do not get an agenda and go to a school board meeting and vote like I would like for them to vote a lot of times. They do their homework. They're also in the process, under the direction of Chairman Jim Morrison, in getting their certification in levels with the TSBA, Tennessee School Board Association. Every year, school board members are challenged to go to courses about being a school board member and the workings of the school system, and they get levels each year, up to 5 levels, being a superior school board member. I've never witnessed such a working school board. They really keep me on my toes. I get calls every day asking questions about this or that. Also get drilled pretty heavily when it comes to budget time, which we're under. I'm pretty tired. I've been to budget meetings. I've been to state meetings. In fact, Assistant Director Scott Jaynes and myself just came here from a state meeting about core standards, which is sort of some rumbling going on about, and also about the park assessment that's going to take place. The school board, in several sessions, has come up with a new board mission for the school system. They work very diligently with this. In working with this, several sessions took place before it came out to the final finished product. Maury County Public Schools shall provide a rigorous, relevant, and safe learning environment that creates high expectation, increases academic accomplishments while closing achievement gaps, and encourages students to be lifelong learners as they prepare to compete in a global environment. They also came up with a vision statement for the school district. The new vision statement, with the state-of-the-art tools provided by our board, our teachers shall promote in-depth, active, and engaged learning while weaving together all elements of schooling to improve achievement. Our learning environment will be physically safe and will make students feel relaxed and willing to take risks. In taking risks, that boils down to student achievement. What that boils down to with teachers is student growth. We have gone under and also continuing a rigorous, fast-paced education reform in Tennessee. It's been long and hard. We work very diligently. We got more teachers going to training out of Maury County. Probably half of the teaching staff in June and July before school starts will go to rigorous training to improve their teaching skills, to learn more about the movement in Tennessee. We have great teachers. I have a great staff. I use a team approach. Back when this reform started, morale, of course, goes down anytime you go through changes in anything. Morale was down. I woke up about 3 o'clock one morning because I was worried about the leaders at the central office. including myself, about our approach to our teachers. And when morale is down and teacher morale is down, you can bet your bottom dollar student achievement is not important. So I challenged my staff in several sessions to look at ourselves and what are we supposed to be about, the central office. There's a difference between the school board and the central office. So I challenged my staff. I also challenged principals and assistant principals across the district. What is our real purpose? Our real purpose is just like any other business that exists. We're customer service. When it came down to customer service, then what are we supposed to do during this reform with all the chaos that it brought? So we met in several sessions, and we come up with our mission at the central office level. We're there to serve. We're there to guide, and we're there to support those engaged in preparing students to be college or career ready. My staff gets tired of me saying every time we meet, remember what we're here for. We can complain and gripe all day long. It's not going to change anything. We got a mission to do out of the central office. We got to use teamwork. We got to encourage our teachers who work very hard. They work as hard as any teachers anywhere in trying to prepare our students. Today, we were challenged with a question. What will our kindergartners' world be like when they graduate from high school? What are the skills they're going to need? We don't know. But we do know that we got to teach students the skills necessary to do things such as technology, such as to analyze. I've always said that we need to go back to some old-fashioned teaching. And the Common Core is going to do that, bring back some old-fashioned teaching that every one of us went through in school, from kindergarten all the way through. Our biggest challenge in Maury County school system is playing catch up. Our number one problem in Maury County is reading comprehension. Students cannot read. We're playing catch up with those students. We're also trying to do a much better job at every grade level to make sure our students are prepared for the next grade level in our schools. That's a major challenge. A major challenge. When about 40% of our students come from a single home, where a parent may have two jobs to survive. 34% of Maury County and people living in Maury County do not even have a job. I got to move a little faster. I'm like the mayor. I could talk for 2 or 3 hours about education, but I want to move to some goals that we are striving to do. These are not all the goals. This only scratches the surface of what we're doing in the Maury County school system, because each school has their goals. We have school improvement plans and so forth. But the Maury County school system goals that are important to us right now, that we have to work on a daily basis, as well as many other goals in our system: maintain and improve a safe and secure learning environment. We are very blessed in Maury County, thanks to the county commission, the school board, and the sheriff's department. We were one of the few in Tennessee that had an SRO in every school. We are very blessed with that. We didn't have the problems that many other schools had when the crisis took place in Connecticut. Expand student access to opportunities to complete K through 12 schooling, getting them college and career ready. We launched a program this year, pilot program, at 2 schools, Hampshire Unit School and Spring Hill High School, right after Christmas. Bring your own device. Our problem is the web ban. We got some infrastructure problems. We hope to launch next year at every school that you can bring your own device. That's been important to a lot of our students. That's very exciting. Also, career and tech possibilities, dual credit, virtual learning. We're also fixing to go to the school board and try to get started a non-traditional high school. Many areas has a non-traditional high school because every student does not fit the traditional school setting. We've got to help those kids be successful. We also close the achievement gap as mandated by the No Child Left Behind annual measurement objectives. It's never good enough, but we strive to get a 3 to 5% achievement growth each year. That's moving kids from below basic to basic, basic to proficient, and proficient to advanced. Successfully implement Common Core standards. We're already ahead of the game in that area. We were a pilot program in math and language arts this year. We have chosen in the Maury County school system to go full-blown with Common Core next year. The Tennessee standards, as we have known for years and years, has not been working for our students or our teachers. So we have to change to something. We must give the Common Core a chance. I think our teachers are going to be better prepared with training on Common Core than they were the Tennessee standards, with a lot of training in this year, summer, and next year. Also, increase student access to great teachers and administrators. More training than you've ever seen. This before school starts, we're going to have 2 days of countywide professional development. 2 days. We usually have 1. They are going to be specific in data training, studying data of our students, park assessment, and the Common Core. Administrators had a tough struggle. Moving from just general managers in a school of daily operation to instructional leaders. We're well on our way with that. Also, last year we started an Aspiring Administrators Academy where I thought maybe we would have 10 or 12. We had 40 individuals last year. We got about 42 this year that are being trained to become administrators, learning about the ropes of administration. Expand student and teacher access to technology. We got to get ready for park assessment. That's going to be online. End-of-course testing. That's going to be online for all of our students. I talked about bring your own device. We're working very steadily on those things. Also, advanced ed, district accreditation. Each school used to be single accredited, which cost a lot of money to a school. I know at Central High School, the last time I was leading that charge as principal of Columbia Central High School, it cost that school $10,000 to go through advanced ed, which is the old Southern Association accreditation. When district accreditation came in, we brought all our schools under district accreditation, and we saved $50,000 in our district for our schools. But out of the last advanced ed summative evaluation, where people from all across the country, 6 or 8, come in and they study our school system for quality control. The number one thing they told us we needed to do is increase community involvement in school improvement. Our schools are working every year on that. They're working diligently to try to bring in stakeholders to talk about school improvement. As Mr. Sapicki started, I am a product of the Maury County school system. Nobody in this county loves this school system any more than I do and want the best for the school system. When I became director of schools in 2004, I said I wanted to bring stability to the director's chair, because the last 3 directors only lasted 2 years each. You can't bring stability to a school system when you keep changing the leader of any organization. I'm in my 9th year. If it ended tomorrow, I've had a great ride. I think I've brought stability to the district, and hopefully I can continue to do so for at least 3 more years. So I'm going to end there. One more slide. Mr. Sharpton is on me back there. The Maury County School Board and staff are committed to providing and supporting the best quality education for our students. Thank you for this opportunity.
Next up will be Columbia State Community College, which is centrally located in Maury County. The college has an enrollment of 5,322 students representing 9 surrounding counties. Columbia State has 458 employees, with 307 being full and part-time faculty. 2 of the main feeder schools are our own Columbia Central and Spring Hill High Schools. Dr. Janet Smith is the president of Columbia State Community College. Dr. Smith was named the president of the college in late November 2007 and officially took over the presidency on February 18, 2008. She returned to her native Tennessee following a distinguished career which has taken her to North Carolina, Tennessee, New York, Kentucky, and Arkansas. Dr. Smith grew up in Houston County near Erin, Tennessee. She attended Austin Peay University, where she earned a bachelor's degree with a major in health and physical education and a master's in curriculum and instruction. Following Austin Peay, she earned a doctorate in higher education from George Peabody College for Teachers at Vanderbilt University. She has participated in postgraduate studies at North Carolina State University, Indiana University, Mississippi State University, and Harvard. Dr. Smith is very active in communities that Columbia State serves. She has presented at area state conferences, clubs, organizations, and events. Dr. Smith is married to James W. Fowler, who is a retired community college librarian. They reside in Columbia, Tennessee with their daughter, Alexandra Hiles. Dr. Smith enjoys gardening, art, and muscle cars. Muscle cars. Ladies and gentlemen, Director Janet Smith.
Oh, we got to do a little altering. Everybody before me is a little bit taller, so we'll bring it down here. I'll hold it this way. Thank you for the invitation to be here. It sure is good to be out to talk about Columbia State, and I do want to recognize I got a couple of folks back there from the college. If you all want to stand up, got Dr. Margaret Smith and Miss Bethany Lay, and giving support here this evening, so very pleased to have them. Very active individuals. And to start with, when you talk about folks at Columbia State, you're talking about Columbia State because it is about people. And the goodness and the quality that comes from that college comes from the people who work there. And if you don't have anything to do, and if you do have something to do, maybe change your plans. And Saturday week, on the 11th, is graduation. And it's a mighty fun time to be at the college, to see the graduates, to see their parents, to see the pride, because that's what education does. I'm going to try and go through several slides here. I'll be quick about it. I want to organize it so as we work through it to do a brief overview, a profile of the college, touch on some programs, a little bit about funding, and throughout the whole presentation to talk about accomplishments as well as initiatives that are going forward. So we'll see what we can do here. Our mission, as all of us, we have a mission, and the mission is that we enhance the lives of citizens in the community, in our communities of southern Middle Tennessee. As you said, we have 9 counties that we serve, and that is the counties. And as all of you may recall, everything started in Maury County. It started in Columbia. The college exists because of a commitment made by the county and made by the citizens to provide both land and also funds to help build the campus. And it is one of the, maybe the only campus that has been dedicated by the First Lady, particularly a First Lady who was accompanied by her husband, who happened to be the president. Some of the things here to look at is average age. Average age is 24.4. You can see the breakdown of male and female and full-time and part-time. But the average age is one of the areas that we are working on. We are looking at adults. More adults need to obtain better skills or increase skills or to enhance their skills. And we have a challenge in the state, and that challenge is called the Drive for 55. And that is the governor's challenge to all of higher education. And that challenge is that by 2025, we will change the high school, the degree adults in this state, those who have an associate degree or higher, from the current 32% to 55%. To obtain that, we must get adults back into college and to obtain their degree, whether it is a career degree, certificate, or whatever. So at Columbia State, one of our initiatives is adults. We started it last year, but we are making more and more progress in that direction as we initiate new programs. We implemented last year an evening program called Team Tuesday, where we had a cohort of individuals that would come together and take classes. This year we are implementing other type of cohort programs in the evening to attract adults to work with them as they are working in their jobs and to provide that opportunity for success. Also in terms of the males, male is another area, males and the diversity of our community. We are looking at minorities and how we work with those individuals as well as our students who are less fortunate. And one of the things, there was an article in the New York Times this week, and this is very important to us, and I think it's important to you, and it's whether or not we're looking at public education, K through 12 or in higher education. But they are finding that one of the great differences in why students succeed is economics. That those who are coming for the more wealthy make higher test scores, complete high school, and complete college at a higher rate than others. And what is sad is that the gap is widening. So I think we all have a very huge challenge in front of us, because this is new data that is coming out. It's not something that we've studied for long, but it's widening. So those who are from the less economic and even the middle class are going to the lower end of the scale. In Maury County, this past fall, our head count enrollment was 1,294, and you can see we have a very diverse spread throughout our service area. The makeup of our population, again, more or less mimics the area that we live in, but it is an area we continue to grow in, particularly searching for and trying to enroll more of our African Americans and our Hispanic students. Dual enrollment, which was mentioned earlier. The top bars are Maury County, the bottom are the college in general. Dual enrollment is growing throughout all of the state of Tennessee. There is also new research coming out that's saying dual enrollment may be better in terms of long-term needs of the student than advanced placement. You can see our dual enrollment is growing. This fall, we anticipate it to be much larger because of some of the schools that we've been working with and their numbers. In Maury County, we have maintained basically the same number every year. So I think this is an area for us that we need to work more with the schools and see how we can increase those dual enrollment numbers, because the data says that if a student does the dual enrollment, they're more likely to go to college and they're more likely to complete. And you can see the growth on the other side. Academic awards by type. Retention and graduation. Retention and graduation. Those are initiatives of the state of Tennessee for all of higher education, as well as for Columbia State. It is a cultural shift for us. It is a shift from access to completion. Access for many, many years was, how many students do you have enrolled? Did you grow more than you did last year? And are you growing? And what is that number? Today it is, how many students did you graduate? How many stayed from fall to spring? How many stayed from fall to fall? How many transferred on? How many went to work? What did their employers say? And what did the transfer institutions say? But it's about retention, completion, and success. So you can see our numbers and where they are. We are very data-driven these days. We keep data on everything. We use data to determine our decisions and what direction we need to go. Where are we weak? What do we need to emphasize that the data is telling us? Another way of looking at the degrees, and you can see we did have a dip in 2010, but it has pumped back since then. And part of that dip had to do with the economics of the time. Even though we had large enrollments, those staying and completing were not there. This slide highlights the majors or the graduates by area. And as you can see, those in green are areas where we have higher enrollments, particularly if you get into nursing. We are the primary nursing provider of the area. But this gives you an idea of what our students are doing, what they're majoring in, and what they're graduating and leaving the institution with. And I will say, as you look at that nursing, one of the things of quality we look and measure is how well our students do on their final exam, on their certification exams. In all of our programs that go through certification exams, our students either meet or exceed the national average, which in most, we've had some that are 100%, 99%, and the national average was more in the area of 93%. This is an area of accomplishment. Developmental education. Everyone says, you know, why do you need it? We need developmental ed, and that we have students who cannot meet the rigors of college because of reading, writing, or mathematics. And last year, we implemented a new program in full scale, and it is designed self-paced, but it's in a room where the faculty member is there working with the students, pulling them up outside if they're having difficulty. And you can see we have increased greatly. It is working. And some say, will you ever be out of developmental ed? I don't think so, because if we bring back adults and they've been out of school a while, they need developmental ed, not because they didn't learn it earlier, but because they kind of forgot it as time went by, and they need the refresher before they go into college courses. But the big yes is there. This is a huge success for the college. But more than that, it's a huge success for the students. Some of our programs, these are transfer programs. This is there just to give you an idea how many that the college has. Our transfer institutions, most of our students transfer to middle, but this is just a sampling. We have one young man last year went to Stanford, and another one who just was accepted to Berkeley and is waiting for Harvard to get their letter in. Associate Applied Science degrees. Not only do we have the transfer and the transfer pathways where our students can transfer well to other institutions, and the transfer pathways was something that has just come about in the past couple of years and works very well. But in the associate degrees, these are programs where the individual completes and goes to work. And as you can see, there are many of them. The software development is new coming. Computer network is coming. The advanced integrated industrial technology is in this building, and it works with the industries. It's a new program we started last year, and we're increasing that one in terms of programs and opportunities. Certificates is one-year programs. Again, the advanced integrated is there, business management. Film crew working on the set of Nashville, which is it's a good thing. And the advanced integrated, we put this one up because we wanted to remind you that it's got robotics. And that's all new for this area and what we're doing, and that meshes with the industry. And we meet and work with industries throughout our area and those who are also coming into the community. And this is an important part of what they're looking for in a trained workforce. And when I say workforce, trained workforce, whether it be with a college education, a technical education, associate degree, it is what we are about. Providing individuals skills and education to move forward, to do what they need to do to provide for their families, for themselves, and to enjoy life. In addition to the credit programs, we run non-credit in workforce training where we have individuals go out and work with the companies, and that has increased this year. The number of classes have gone up, and we look to increase that next year. Again, it is a prime target for the college. International education is another target area that we have been growing in the past, and we are targeted to grow more because we live in a very global society, and it's very important that our students have that type of access. Volunteer opportunities, out and about, and you'll find a Columbia State person or student there that is working and volunteering. They're integrated into the community. We are Columbia State Community College, and the community is very important to us, not just in terms of service to the individuals, but in terms of being a part of the community. Appropriations, the one thing I want to call to your attention there, if you look at the red, that was student fee collection and revenues in 2007, and then you have it in 2012-13. In the blue is state appropriation. I put that up there for one reason, to show you how it has changed. And if you look at it this way, you can see the 41% and the 57%, and they've kind of changed places. The reason that tuition is so is because of what is occurring with that switch. Tuition is high or go up as much this year, but the reason is the number of, it's the amount of revenue that's coming in. And final, our accomplishments is our students, it's our graduates, it's our people who work at the college. our initiatives. Our initiatives are about continuing to grow the college, continuing to work with retention, graduation, improve a culture that is enhancing students' lives so that they can be very strong contributors to this community and this state. Again, thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening.
Okay, okay. Next up is Maury Regional Medical Center. Maury Regional is Middle Tennessee's major medical facility providing care to most of the southern counties of the state. Maury Regional has multiple campuses not only in Maury County but also in Lewis, Marshall, and Wayne counties. And the newest facility now completed here in Spring Hill, which will help serve northern Maury and southern Williamson County. Maury Regional Medical Center has approximately 2,100 employees. Alan Watson is the Chief Executive Officer of Maury Regional now. He was born in Cleveland, Tennessee, married to Michelle, his wife, for 26 years. They have twin daughters, Brittany and Jessica, 22, and a son, Michael, 18. Alan was educated. He has a bachelor's of nuclear medical technology and a master's in community health administration. He has 30 years of healthcare experience. He previously was Chief Executive Officer for St. Mary's Medical Centers of Campbell and Scott counties and Baptist Hospital West in Knoxville, Chief Executive Officer of Bradley Memorial Hospital in Cleveland. He's now currently the Chief Executive Officer of Maury Regional. He is a Fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives, member of the Tennessee Hospital Association, board member of the Boys and Girls Club of Columbia, and current chairman of the Maury County Chamber and Economic Alliance. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Executive Officer Alan Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Sapicki. Thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. Wanted to share some good news about Maury Regional Medical Center and successes that we've had over the last year. Maury Regional is entering its 60th year of operation in Maury County. In the early 50s, a group of leaders in the community had the vision that a comprehensive medical center needed to be developed for Maury County. Since that time, the medical center has grown from not only serving Maury County, but from serving the 8 counties in our surrounding region, close to 250,000 people that depend on us for medical care in the community. The reason that I can say that Maury Regional has had a successful year and that will continue to be successful in the future is because we have a strong foundation. We have a strong mission, vision, and values that drive everything that we try to accomplish on an annual basis. We have keys to success around quality, service, our people, financials, and growth that we build goals around on an annual basis, and we use that to plan the future of our healthcare services. This year, we've added another key to success, which is the health of our community. For too long, healthcare institutions have spent too much energy focused on taking care of people when they're sick, and we've not done enough to improve the health of the communities that we serve. And so we're going to continue to focus on improving the health of our community. And then we've added all of these other projects above the keys to success that help us be successful in the things that we try to accomplish. Some of the quality measures I'd like to share with you. Readmission rates is one of the things that we're being tracked by on a national level, and that is an indicator of how well are we taking care of our patients while they're in the hospital. Are we helping them find the services they need to take care of themselves once they leave the hospital? The national benchmark is 21%. Since 2008, we have seen a consistent improvement and consistently outperforming the benchmark in our readmission rates. Interventions for heart attack patients. This is how we measure once a patient is identified as having a heart attack, and from the time that they arrive in our facility to the time that we have a catheter in their heart to open that vessel, The goal should be 90 minutes or less. We have consistently, for 34 out of 36 quarters, outperformed the benchmark. We've been at 100% of our patients being in the cath lab and having those interventions accomplished within 90 minutes. The graph to the left, to the right there, shows how we compare to our other hospitals in the region, and we are the only hospital in 2012 that hit that 100% benchmark of all patients being in the cath lab within 90 minutes. Mortality, this is a measure of how well are we caring for the patients that are in our hospitals and making sure that they are receiving the right treatments at the right times and the right medications. And we've seen a consistent improvement and sustained near the benchmark of the measures nationally. Harm avoidance, this is a measure of how well we do in making sure that patients don't have infections when they come into our facility, that they don't have medication errors, that we give them the right test at the right time, that they don't have pressure ulcers when they leave our facility. And you can see that we are exceeding the benchmark on this, 133% improvement over the last few quarters. The results have been national recognition for your medical center for the results that we have achieved. We've been recognized as a top health system, top 50 cardiovascular hospital, a top 100 hospital. We've been recognized for best practices in strategic planning and workforce development from Malcolm Baldrige, and a Quest top performing hospital in 2012 and 2013. We've also received advanced certification in diabetes and hip and knee replacements from the Joint Commission. Blue Cross has designated us as a Distinction Center Plus for hip and knee replacements. And our volunteers were recently recognized with the Mary Catherine Strobel Award for their efforts at our facility. And then Med Assets, which is a group that we are a member of nationally, out of 4,100 hospitals, we've been recognized for excellence in quality, safety, reliability, and cost management. Awards are just awards unless they mean something. And so this is what those awards mean to you as patients and members of our community. Better risk-adjusted survival rates, lower complications, fewer readmissions, shorter hospital stays, lower costs, more lives saved with fewer complications. We follow industry recommended standards more closely, fewer patient safety errors. Patients are released from the hospital a half day sooner, and we scored better on overall patient satisfaction. I also know that Maury Regional is strong because of the key numbers. Last year, in our fiscal year ended June 30, 2012, we had 14,000 admissions, over 48,000 emergency department visits, 38,000 ambulatory center visits, 1,400 births, 8,700 surgeries, 2,000 casts, 2,200,000 lab tests, and 155,000 imaging procedures. The economic impact of our facility on just Maury County, we have 2,144 employees at our Maury County facilities. 1,200 of those will live in Maury County. A payroll of over $90 million. $53 million of those payroll dollars will be attributed to folks living in Maury County. The benefits that we provide in addition to payroll is almost $25 million. In addition, there's another 800 physicians and office staff that work in Maury County that contribute to the economy. We contribute $900,000 to Maury County in lieu of taxes. And we've provided inmate health care and ambulance service subsidies of over $647,000 over the past year. We've provided support for the Maury County schools through various programs of over $36,000. We provide athletic trainers to the school system at a cost of $115,000. Charity care, bad debt, and unreimbursed TN care. These are dollars that we provide care where we are not compensated, and it's over $36 million annually. 15,000 hours of community service by our employees, and $738,000 of hours and supplies have been donated to the community. Donated blood in quantities equal to 789 lives. We provided a Holiday Hugs program through the Maury County Schools for 696 children and participated in over 150 community outreach events. Finally, I know that we are strong because of our efforts at community wellness. We are currently working on a community health needs assessment. If you'll go to our website, there is data that we are partnering with a company that allows us to measure the health of our community served. And you'll see graphs like this that show how we're doing in cancer. Red means that we're not doing so well. Green means that we're good. And we're going to develop a plan that will help us address the community health needs of the communities that we serve. This one is for diabetes. You can see that we do fairly well there. In exercise and nutrition and weight, we have some opportunities for improvement. Heart disease and stroke, we have opportunities around cholesterol. And this is some of the efforts that Mr. Otwell mentioned last year, where he talked about our efforts to improve the health of the employee base in Maury County. These are our own employees. We began surveying and working with them in 2011. We've improved their heart disease risk score by 4 points, diabetes risk score by 3 points, and so on down the line. There's another industry, I won't identify them, we've been working with for 3 years. And over those 3 years, they've seen a 9-point improvement in their heart disease risk score. And we've seen the same results for all of their disease processes. So this is where we think our focus should be, and that is on improving the health of the community, continuing to provide great care for those who come inside the 4 walls of the hospital, but making sure that we're trying to prevent disease rather than just treat it on the back end. I want to leave you with this thought. Maury Regional strives for excellence, and I heard this definition a few weeks ago at the Malcolm Baldrige National Conference. Excellence is not average, perfect, or winning awards. Excellence is asking the right questions, continuing to improve, having the right people around the table, and sharing and learning from others. And these are the goals that we strive to achieve on an annual basis, is to make sure that we are exhibiting excellence as your healthcare provider for Maury County and the surrounding counties that we serve. Thank you.
Well, we've come to our last speaker tonight. The Maury County Chamber and Economic Alliance is tasked with attracting businesses to Maury County and help facilitate employment opportunities for our citizens. Will Evans is the interim president of the Maury County Chamber and Economic Alliance. He was born in Clarksville, Tennessee. His wife, Katie, is originally from Tullahoma, Tennessee, and they live here in Maury County. Will holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration Marketing from Austin Peay State University in Clarksville. Will was originally hired as the Economic Development Manager for the Maury County Chamber and Economic Alliance in 2011. This position was created to handle the research and data collection needs of the organization. And in 2012, Will was promoted to the Economic Development Director for the Alliance. In addition to serving as the Economic Development Director, Will is currently serving as the interim president as the Alliance searches for a new president. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Will Evans.
Good evening. Thanks for having me here. I know we're running a little behind time, so I'm going to try to shave off a few minutes of the presentation. Last time I ran through it, it was about 45 minutes, so I think we'll be good. All I really want to do is, you have to excuse me, allergies are acting up a little bit today. We've heard several of our municipalities tonight talk about how they feel things are turning around for the better. So I really want to provide about 5 to maybe 6 indicators that we track that kind of help illustrate and back that up, and then talk a little bit about what we're doing to continue that growth. First, a little bit about who we are. We are both a Chamber of Commerce and an economic development agency for the Maury County. On the Chamber side, we have about 592 members. That's probably the largest we've been, if not ever, in a long time, thanks to a very successful membership drive we had earlier this year. The chamber side is really focused more on working with our members to help them grow their business through education and networking events. And by them growing their business, we'll have a much more prosperous community. On the economic development side, our goal is to bring jobs and capital investment to the community. We do that. Currently, we are in the middle of a 4-year strategic plan that's focusing on 5 different areas to help develop the economy. That's the existing industry development, new business attraction, workforce development. Fortunately, Jan's group does a great job of that, so we don't have to focus as heavily as maybe some other communities do. Talent attraction, it's absolutely important to continue to recruit additional talent to your community in order to attract that next level of business that we all need. And then, of course, product development. So you can't bring a new business if you have nowhere to put them. So that's something we're constantly looking at. Now, a few things that we measure that I think help paint a brighter picture for the community over the past few years. We do track leads that come into our organization. While this may not paint an official picture, I like to look at it as a litmus test of what's going on in the national economy, what kind of businesses are out there looking, how many businesses are out there looking. For the year of 2012, we ended up with approximately 134 leads that came in at our office. This is any type of existing or new business that's looking to expand or bring a new campus to the community. That's a significant increase from 2011. I want to say it was about 70 to 75 in 2011, so we came close to doubling the amount of leads that we saw. So that's a significant increase. Currently in 2013, we've seen 41 leads, and we've had 15 site visits. Site visits are what we want to get to ultimately from those leads. To put that again in perspective, this time last year, we'd seen 43 leads, so we're kind of on par there. We'd only had 5 site visits, so we are seeing a little more progression there. And then again, if you compare that to this time last year, or 2011, we only had 14 leads. So what this is showing is we saw a jump, and then it's continuing so far over 2 years. It hasn't gone back down. That's good. But it is important to remember that all these leads, a small percentage do become an active project, and then an even smaller percentage is going to become a win for the community. So, we're constantly trying to answer as many leads and respond to as many as we can, because the more we do that, the better chance we have of landing a project. Look at some numbers of the county. Again, this is kind of going to back up what the mayors are saying. What we have here is the consumer expenditures or retail sales for Maury County for 2010, 2011, and 2012, simply to show how things are moving forward in the community. If you look at 2012 compared to 2010, you're seeing approximately $115 million additional being spent in retail. It's about an 11% increase. That's a good indicator that people are feeling a little more confident out there. Things may be starting to turn around. And again, a result of that is going to be the local sales tax. This number has come from the state of Tennessee, so this is encompassing all county and city taxes combined. So we're again seeing a similar increase. Ultimately, it's a result of the sales. About a 7% increase over the last 2 years, which is about a $1.2 million additional coming in to the community in sales tax dollars. Don't freak out looking at this slide. This is the one you want to see go down. Showed it to somebody earlier, and they got a good laugh until I explained what it is. This is our monthly unemployment average from 2010 to December of 2012. So this is showing where we've come. Now, it's not a constant decrease month to month, but if you look at the overall progression, we've cut our unemployment rate almost in half in the county. I think that's something that's something we need to be proud of. And again, it results in the previous 2 slides increasing as well. People are out there with jobs, with a little more disposable income, out there spending money in the community. Talk a little bit about some of the recent wins that have attributed to that unemployment. In 2012, Magna Seating relocated a new facility in Columbia, Tennessee. They're a manufacturer of seating systems for the Equinox at General Motors, and they will hopefully be supplying additional lines as may come in there. They announced about 250 employees, 75 currently. They've been operational for right at a year now. So that's a good number that we see 75 out there working currently. And their facility is located in the Oakland Parkway in the Maury County Business Park, which is ironically the former home of Johnson Controls Seating, excuse me. Ibex Global, huge player in the community. Most of you may know it as TRG Customer Solutions. We recruited them in 2011. Just to put it in perspective, when they announced, I want to say they were expecting 350 to 400 jobs is what they announced. They're currently, I put 900, but I checked again today and it's 960 is what they employ today. I believe they're starting another 180 tomorrow and looking to expand about 600 this year. So, I mean, this is a huge player in the community, something good. And as Mayor Colvett mentioned earlier, I'm optimistic that we're going to have a good announcement here in the next couple of months as we try to bring this project that you guys have been reading about in the paper several days. Hopefully we can bring that home and close it. Is everything just perfect? No. I mean, you know, there are some areas that we are still falling behind a little bit, but it's not anything to be discouraged with. I just wanted to point out that it's not all, you know, roses at this point. What this is showing is the per capita income. The top line is the state of Tennessee's per capita income, and the bottom line is Maury County's. It's not such a big deal that we're below them, but what I'm trying to point out is from 2008 to 2009, we did see a dip down in the economy, or in the per capita income, and we have come back up to surpass that. However, if you pay attention to the gap between the two, it's getting larger, which showing that the state average is increasing at a slightly higher rate than the county's average. So that's something that our organization is mindful of, and I think the whole community should be mindful of, that you know, we do need to continue to work to recruit not just additional jobs, but additional higher paying jobs. And you know, that task falls with not just my organization, but I think this is something that each municipality, the Columbia State, everybody, as we collaboratively work together, we can work to address not just this, but everything else. Moving forward, what we are working on, again, this year currently, continued product development. Again, if you don't have product, you can't recruit new companies, and that best kind of product with the larger companies is going to be your publicly owned product. So we do have Cherry Glen Industrial Park. We're always showing that park. It shows well. We constantly get compliments. I'm confident that we're going to see some movement soon. But we are, there's some strategies going to help enhance that. I know Mount Pleasant Power, the city of Mount Pleasant, and Maury County has recently started an investment in the speculative building, which is hopefully going to bring a new clientele project in. There are some out there who are specifically looking for a spec building to get things started. So we're hopeful that that coming online and our active marketing of that is only going to increase the impact of that park, excuse me. We're also working on a current state certification for the park, as well as some updated landscaping. The Northfield building, again, as Tom said, very actively marketing. Hope to fill up the remaining space and bring many more jobs. I-65 Industrial Park, you know, we've made a lot of movement on that in the last year or so. We're still moving forward with that project, and we're going to identify a site that is going to be a feasible site to put that property on. That's something that's absolutely necessary moving forward for this community to have. Existing industry, we're continuing to meet with as many industries as we can. Our goal is 40 a year. Last year, we did release some of our findings at a gathering in this building. So we have identified about 5 takeaways from last year's interviews, incorporating those into our current strategic plan, as well as continuing to interview new businesses to identify opportunities and weaknesses and areas that we can help as an organization to help our existing industry. Retail growth and attraction. Last year we did have the retail coach come in and do a study for Columbia, and so we are actively taking that data and are identifying properties where we may be able to have some retail growth in Columbia, as well as actively market those later this year. And then, of course, people attraction. We have a PR strategy that we're in the middle of. Robin Munger is putting out some really good articles to help keep the positive news in the community out there to those who are interested. And also, we have done a talent indicator scorecard, or we're in the finalization of that project. And what that is looking at is indicators that people look for when they are or considering moving to your community. And so they measure where we are in relation to our peer counties in those indicators. And again, that's going to be used by us internally to help drive some of our strategic planning and help drive some of the things we do so we can continue to be more attractive to the talent that's out there. I hope this was not too quick to be educational for you guys, and I would welcome you if you do have any questions at any time. Feel free to stop by and be happy to talk to you. Thank you.